Guys, my name is Rebecca Noel and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am a travel blogger, content creator, strategist, and this is where I share stories about content creation and also travel how-tos, take you guys on adventures with me, and I hope you enjoy it. I want to share a story with you today. And as always with my story times, I have my coffee, so I'm ready to talk. Do you guys have yours? Let's sit down and tell a little story time. So today's time is about a time that I went camping in a little old place called Old Forge, New York. I almost got attacked by a bear. And that sounds very weird to say, but it was like very, very true of like, I literally almost got attacked by a bear. The story takes place in a place called Old Forge, New York. And if you guys do not know Old Forge, that is okay. It is a town located in New York, and it's a part of the Adirondack State Park. For those of you who don't know much about the Adirondacks are a state park, like I said, in the northern region of the state of New York that includes the 46 high peaks. The 46 high peaks are 46 peaks in the High Peaks mountain range that people try to climb each year, and they become known as a 46er. Becoming a 46er is something that's actually on my list to accomplish. I have climbed 5 or 6 of the high peaks and I hope to do the rest. There are also some people who are known as winter 46ers, which means they climb the peaks only in the winter. I have a friend's grandfather who is a winter 46er, and man, God bless him. But yeah, so I wanted to lay it down. I'm the Adirondacks, and not all parts of the Adirondacks are created equal. So I grew up going to the Adirondacks for most of my life, and we would snowmobile from an area outside of Lake Placid, New York, which for those of you who are not familiar with Lake Placid is where the 1980 Olympics was held. This is where America beat Russians for the hockey gold medal, which was a very big deal during the time. My sister is a huge fan of Miracle, so if you've never seen it, I highly suggest checking it out. And also Lake Placid still has tours that you can see Olympic locations, and the hockey rink there is known as the Olympic Training Center. So many hockey players and things and people of that nature, they go there to train and the ski jump. So highly recommend checking out Lake Placid. So this area called Old Forge, I had been to it growing up a little bit, but it was mainly in the winter because we went snowmobiling, and there was a trail that you could go snowmobiling there, and there were good little restaurants that you could stop at that had amazing burgers and fries and all that, like just stuff you shouldn't have, but it's so good. And this was the first time me and my friends were going there on a trip. A friend of mine had grown up going there in the summer, so she knew of this campsite that we went to. So it's called the Old Forge Camping Resort. It had a lot of accommodations where you could have an RV, pop-up tent, tents, cabins, large cabins, small cabins, and a beach area. The town had a few attractions. If you are a New Jerseyan, just picture seaside, thrown in the Adirondacks. There you go. We got a cabin site, and some of us were in the cabin, some were in a tent. I was trying to hammock camp. It ended up not fully working. So let's get into the story today about Old Forge and the time that I was almost attacked by a bear. And I'm assuming the whole being almost attacked by the bear is the reason why you clicked on this video, and not really necessarily information about Old Forge, the campsite I went to, and all that jazz. But you're going to receive that information anyway, because if you are looking to travel to Old Forge, this will also help guide you on things to do, not to do when you're camping there. I've gone camping before. I've gone tent camping, I've gone cabin camping. So there are the basic rules that you should know, especially if you have never camped before. These are some things that you should know so you protect yourself. Big thing is when you cook at night, especially if you don't go out to eat. We cooked everything over the fire, had everything tinfoil, making sure all the juices got out, and we would wipe down the picnic table that we ate at each night to make sure there was no residue of any food. And since we had been really good about it, our third night, we got a little lazy. Now, I'll also give you another background. Earlier that morning and the day before, and our first day, we saw bears, black bears. It is very populated in Old Forge for you to see black bears. So if you do not want to have an encounter with a black bear, do not go to Old Forge. In the summertime. In the wintertime, I never encountered a black bear before, so it was very odd. It was just like weird. Like they were very used to humans, so they weren't like intimidated or skittish, because where I am in certain hiking areas in northern New Jersey, though, in South New York, bears, where you kind of give them their space and they move on. These bears did not move on. This night, in a photo here of what the campsite actually looked like, and also my hammock setup, because I really, really wanted to sleep in a hammock, and say I have like semi hammock camping, and I check that off. So the first night did not pan out because it started torrential downpouring, and thankfully like we had the cabin there, so me and my friend who were outside or was like, is that rain, hurried inside, and as soon as we closed the door for us getting inside of the cabin, torrential downpour. The second night I just couldn't sleep, so I got up and two of our friends were cowboy camping on the porch of the cabin, and I go there and they like are loud and back, and then they just pop up and they're just like, are you looking to go inside? I'm like, yeah, because I think they also had bets with each other saying that I couldn't make it. Yeah, so I'm at defeat for the third night. Third night, I was slightly victorious. I did fall asleep sometime after midnight. I had been up for like maybe like 10 minutes, and I noticed because the cabins, it's not spread out there, you can see your neighbors. So within my sight, my hammock was right next to our cabin. I saw one cabin here and one cabin there. Their lights were on, which was weird because it hadn't been on when I went to sleep, and then the other cabins lights were also on. So I'm like, why are their lights on? This is very odd. So I'm looking around, noticing their lights are on, and also looking for my glasses because like I need to be able to see. Put them on, and it's just like I get this feeling in my gut of get out of your hammock right now. And I was just like, all right. So I like get my sleeping bag and my pillow, and I'm like jump out of my hammock, and I go back in the cabin. But my two friends that are cowboy camping on the porch of the cabin, I can't make them out at all. I just see darkness, and I don't want to step on one of them to injure them, and I don't want to also, while stepping on them, on accident injure myself in the process. So I was just like, this is just a bad idea. A friend of mine was sleeping in the tent, went into the tent, and I was just like, alright, like I also warned them if I bail out and I can't get into the cabin, would it be okay to sleep in the tent? So they probably had an idea that I would end up in the tent. So go into my friend's tent, and thankfully they're just sleeping. I get there, I sleep, and then after a little bit, it was maybe 10-15 minutes, our two friends that are cowboy camping go, Brennan, there's a bear. There's like a bear sniffing my hammock, and they get up and just go right in the cabin because remember, they're sleeping on the porch of the cabin, so they can just go right inside. And also, it's not like there was a cabin, it was like they were on the porch, there's railings and there's a swing, so in between them and the bear is a swing, a rail, and then the bear. But then so they like run inside, and since they also go in like very loudly, like everyone's woken up in the cabin, there's like, what's going on? Like there's a bear outside sniffing Becky's, my friends call me Becky, sniffing Becky's hammock. And so they're like lightning all outside. And I'm also in the mindset of I don't want to get out of my friend's tent because safety. We don't know where this bear is, like what could happen in between getting out of the tent and going into the cabin. So the bear is like sniffing all around my hammock. So my friends also see that there's nothing in the hammock. So they all think I died, the ones that are in the cabin, because they don't know that I'm in the tent. They're also freaking out, like lighting outside to try and find me. It's like, what if I ran away and all this stuff. After about 30 minutes, because the bear was still there for a friend that was in the tent informs them I'm in the tent, we're safe, we're fine. Then 2 hours go by, and then I'm woken up by being told to shush. I'm like, what is going on? And then all I hear is like, shh, there's a bear. Just laying there and just hearing for like, it felt like forever. It was a long time of a bear just sniffing in there to not be killed by this bear. It's a good thing I did not get out of this tent to like run inside, because who knows where this bear went. It's very entertaining following morning when all of us are recapping with each other of the events of what happened and also what happened to me, because they were like, you were in the hammock and then you were gone and we thought you died. But I share this story with you to be if you ever go to Old Forge and you're going to be camping, be mindful of the bears and do every bear precaution that you can. Thankfully we had the cabin, so we kept all the food in a seal type location, so that included our cabin and our cars. Precautions, because the final night, the reason why the bear came specifically to our tent and the reason why we're thinking of is we cooked popcorn, like, you know, those corn shaky things that you like get them in the wire and you just shake them and popcorn pops and you have popcorn. Those have a lot of oil in them, and the oil while you're cooking them drips out, so it dripped all along our fire. And then I, like, while we were having the fire and just like enjoying it all, pushed towards my hammock, so my hammock just reeked of popcorn all the trails around it. So not to say don't bring popcorn when you are going to be camping, but if you know there's like well-known bear activity, especially if you're going to Old Forge, don't bring the popcorn. It's not worth it. And also, like, I think we burned ours. I don't even know if it cooked well. It might have, who knows. The oils got everywhere, it attracted bears to us, and it just put us in a potentially very dangerous situation, so don't do that. If you guys enjoyed my Old Forge story, the Adirondacks are highly wonderful, and I'll hopefully share more Adirondack stories with you, but I just needed to share that as like, be careful about bears. don't really cook popcorn, it's not worth it. Yeah, bear safety is important. We want to go to Old Forge. There's an area that's like a water park, and we actually did the go-kart racing there. That was a lot of fun. And the best thing about there is a kayaking trail that you can do, and I'm actually going to have a blog post coming up on my blog about it. So depending when you see this, check out my website and you can read a blog post about this kayak trail in Old Forge that was absolutely beautiful. I highly recommend it. So beware bears, practice bear safety when camping. And if you like this video, please like it down below, because a like really lets me know what you guys want to hear, and I'll keep telling stories like that and also bring you guys along for my different travels. Subscribe so you don't miss anything, and let me know in the comments down below what you'd want a story for or me to take you along with. Alright, thanks so much for listening through, and always remember, safe around bears. Bye guys.